Hi everyone, it's so good to be back here. Thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. I really appreciate you. Thank you for your love and your support. You guys have been awesome and wonderful, and I do not take this for granted. And those that are just coming here for the first time, thank you also, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you get updated anytime we drop a new video. And guess what? President Buhari must stop governors from doing this because it could cause another crumbling in the system. And what exactly is that? And that is what we're about to find out on this report. But please, whatever you have to do here, if you have not turned on your notification bell, hey, you're on a long thing, please turn on your notification bell so you get updated anytime we drop a new video. And if you have not subscribed, please do also. All right, let us get into the details of this report. As it says that President Muhammadu Buhari has been asked to urgently instruct the Director General and Board of National Pension Commission (NPC) to use their statutory power to stop the 36 state governors from borrowing or withdrawing 17 trillion naira from the pension funds purportedly for infrastructural development. This was contained in an open letter to the President by the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project (SERAP) on Sunday. The governors last week reportedly proposed to borrow about 17 trillion naira from the pension funds after receiving a briefing from the Kaduna State Governor, Malam NASIR RUFAI, who is the chairman of the National Economic and Council Ad hoc Committee on leveraging portion of accumulated pension funds for investment in the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority. But in a letter dated 5th of December 2020 and signed by SERAP's Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare, the organization said allowing the governors to borrow from pension funds would be detrimental to the interest of the beneficiaries of the funds, especially given the vulnerability of pension funds to corruption in Nigeria and the transparency and accountability deficits in several states. It said it was patently unjust and contrary to the letter and spirit of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, the Pension Reform Act, and the country's international anti-corruption and human rights obligation for the federal government and state governors to repeatedly target pension funds as an escape route from years of corruption and mismanagement in ministries, departments, and agencies. SERAP expressed serious concerns that the proposed borrowing by the 36 state governors from the pension funds would lead to serious losses of retirement savings of millions of Nigerians. The letter copied to the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami San, read in part, this proposed borrowing faces the risk of corruption and mismanagement and would ultimately deny pensioners the right to an adequate standard of living and trap more pensioners in poverty. Rather than devising ways to address pensioner poverty, government at all levels would seem to be pushing to exacerbate it. Allowing the governors to borrow money from the pension fund would amount to a fundamental breach of constitutional provisions, the Pension Reform Act, and Nigerians' international obligation, as well as fiduciary duties imposed by these legal instruments on all public officers to prevent pension funds from unduly risky investment and to ensure the transparency and accountability in the management of pension funds. We would be grateful if your government would indicate the measures being taken to instruct the NPC to stop the 36 states governors from borrowing and withdrawing any money from the pension funds within 14 days of the receipt and or publication of this letter. If we have not heard from you by then as to the steps being taken in this direction, the registered trustees of SERAP shall take all appropriate legal actions to compel your government to implement these recommendations in the interest of millions of Nigerian pensioners. It will also be very difficult to hold state governors to account for the spending of pension funds, as states have persistently failed to account for the spending of public funds, including security votes. Transparency is key in the spending of any pension fund investment as it is necessary to ensure the accountability of funds. However, several states routinely claim that the Freedom of Information Act is not applicable within their states. Pension funds should not be used to make up for failure of government at all levels to cut the cost of governance and the persistent refusal to reduce wastage and corruptions in MDAs, as well as failure to obey court orders to recover life pensions collected by former governors and their deputies and public funds collected by corrupt electricity contractors who disappeared with the money without executing any power project. Many state governors' salaries and pensions, several states are failing to pay contributory pension, therefore allowing state governors to collect a windfall of pension funds at the expense of pensioners who continue to be denied the fruit of their labor, would amount to double jeopardy. Fiduciary duties require public officers to ensure that pension funds are managed solely and exclusively for the benefit of pensioners and to consider the socio-economic and human rights impact of pension investment decisions on the intended beneficiaries. Our requests are brought in the public interest and in keeping with the requirements of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, the Pension Reform Act 2014, and Nigeria's international obligations, including under the UN Convention Against Corruption and the International Convention on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. Your government has a legal obligation under Article 1 and 5 of the UN Convention Against Corruption to prevent and combat corruption effectively, to promote integrity, accountability, and proper management of public funds, affairs, and public property, including pension funds. Public confidence and accountability in public administration are instrumental to the prevention of corruption and greater efficiency. Article 10 requires Nigeria to take measures to enhance transparency in its public administration relative to its organization, functioning, decision-making processes, and other aspects, including pension funds investment. Nigeria has ratified the convention. Well, it is a good one that Serap is speaking out for Nigerians because, of course, it is very, very important that pensioners get their funds, not for governors to come borrowing money from, the pension board. When pensioners are not even paid, their rights are not even given to them. We see every day how pensioners sit under the sun, under the rain, begging for their funds to be paid. And governors are busy borrowing and spending the money. Well, guys, I don't know what you have to say about this. Don't forget to drop it in the comment section and also give this video a thumbs up. Do have a pleasant time. Bye for now.